added an ability to the archer to do a rain of arrows, which actually looks pretty cool, so you may as well go ahead and toss that on him. As these figures begin to move into play, into his effective range, that 5 I talked about earlier.
Right.
When you use that ability, and his turn will be up next, when you use the ability, what winds up happening is he makes a ranged attack against everything within his effective range. It's a little challenging to set up. The one player is actually kind of designed to know, like, I don't really want to let you get that off. So you have to protect him, you have to let him move figures in. But once he does so, you can actually just press it for 2 green mana, you fire off the ability, and what winds up happening is he just does an attack against every figure there for full damage.
What about the one that's already in range?
It'll hit that one as well.
Okay.
So if these ones move in, we'll show it to you in just a second. But also, you've got some healing that you can do, you've got some buffing you can do. Forward and he's in this space, he's actually now a pretty exposed figure, which means that everything here might get a swing on him before he gets to go again. If you look down at the initiative, he doesn't even appear.
Right.
Everything else is going to get an attack before him.
Okay.
You actually can hit your own figures if you overlap. So in this case, it's going to divvy up its 30 damage across these 3 figures. So it's going to be 10, 10, and 10, as opposed to doing all 30 to that. You can isolate the fireball by moving it around just a little bit.
Okay.
The healing already pretty much taken care of. So go ahead and pass the turn. The archer's turns come up. Now that you've cast that, he has a new action down here. New enchantments and actions will be up here down here, especially if they're trigger type.
Okay.
So go ahead and press the button. Watch that. Range, it would have hit them all of them.
Right.
Which, as a force multiplier, is absolutely insane. So Ray is actually in pretty rough shape right now, but he doesn't have a lot of options because of all the adjacent figures and no positioning for him. He's going to have to leave it out there and take a beating. So he's going to start going for some of his flanking maneuvers. But you'll notice he had to summon an archer, but that archer
is right next to
melee.
Yeah.
It doesn't do him any good.
Ouch.
You'll also notice that the instant that he cast on that hawk is gone now.
Right.
His attack is back to normal. The shield is gone.
But I didn't get a retaliate.
That's because Ray had already hit you and used up that retaliate.
Oh, I only get 1 retaliate. Okay.
1 retaliate through the initiative. Now, it just so happens he left a nice tasty archer sitting right in front
right in front of me.
Now, tactically speaking, killing him eliminates the ability to summon some more figures, in addition to removing his ability to generate mana and heal and enhance and buff his units.
Right.
It doesn't win the game, but it's a high value target. So it's one of those things like you have to make that decision. You're not going to kill him. Even if you got a critical, you're not going to kill him.
Right.
But you're going to put him within reach of a kill. Or you can try to smack that archer and kill the archer instead. So that's one of those things. But think of the effectiveness that you're having right now. If you do attack him, you're still in melee of that archer. That archer has resorts to a melee, so that means its next turn either is a really crappy melee attack, or he has to run out to get position.
Right.
So you've already done enough with that. So go ahead and smack the Planeswalker. Now, unfortunately, one little thing you didn't get huge.
Yeah.
That is well within death range.
Yeah.
A fireball is going to take care of that problem.
I don't know why it moved over there, but oh well.
No, when we actually, a little bit later
It'll
in the
be
build,
the direct.
Yeah, you actually get to pick. I want to be in there.
Yeah, that's okay.
You pretty much got this one in hand. So you're at the Sarah Angel's turn. She's got a set of valid targets, but you'll also notice that they're now ganging up around you. This might be a kill. This might be a kill, depending on what you get for a critical or if you get a critical.
Now, the other people can't move through her.
They can. You actually have a line of access through here, but you'll just, as you come up to it, you could defend with her, because since you'd be marching him around her and staying adjacent, they still have to attack the Sarah Angel. And she's got a pretty, well, her hit points are a little low. but your Planeswalker's about to come up, so you can take care of that problem.
Right.
Now, in other situations, if you knew your Planeswalker didn't have any healing spells or any more buff spells, or you didn't have the mana to do so, you could actually choose to defend here, taking half damage from these two, which might actually allow you to survive using your Retaliate more effectively, whittling them down until you can get other units into position. So for now, go ahead and attack, because we gave you a lot of mana and a lot of spells.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, exposing that is really like that's the one that we didn't do. But let's show you another effective strat that you can do with this. At this point, click on that. Now if you read that,
okay,
that's pretty much the off button.
Right.
We have this overpowered for the build. It's really the I win. The unstable keyword that's on it, when we first tried this, we put pacifism as a permanent enchantment like it is in the card game. You have 5 figures, there are 5 enchants. Oh, wait a minute, nobody can do anything.
Right.
So we put the unstable keyword on it, which means that in a few turns, it will fall off.
Okay.
Doing things also causes it to fall off. So if you go ahead and put the pacifism on the Rhea, she's not going to really be able to do much. Now she can't attack, now she can't retaliate. His only option really is to try to heal him. Now remember, he's well within fireball range now.
So I should take care of that.
Yeah, so you play tactics games before?
And because it's 15, and you're going to be dealing 15, you may as well throw the extra 15 on the archer. So now you've removed his ability to heal, to cast that giant growth, which was going to cause you some problems because he had some units moving into your back rank. A few giant growths, a few heals, suddenly this situation completely flips. She's no longer, near death. She's, oh wow, I have a very large, high value, very damaging unit in range of me. You also haven't hit her with an Oaken Form yet. However, you haven't hit her with an Oaken Form, but if you cast Oaken Form, it's going to use up 4 mana, and you won't be able to use the added ability you put on him.
Right.
So there's one of those little devil's bargains that you got to kind of decide. Do I want to save that mana?
Is that still active?
Both of those.
Is that still active on him?
Yep, it's an enchantment. It stays on him, and he has that ability.
Okay, so, all right. Normally we would see that, but
We are going to have a rich info. We're also going to have a lot of iconography that you can actually be able to tell, like, oh, that person has that.
Right.
Some iconography is going to be visible to you, some's going to be visible to both, and so on and so forth. I know that this figure has that, you don't.
right. Okay.
So I'd actually just passed the turn. You're in really good shape. His Planeswalker is near gone. You've got 2 high-value units going right on top of that. So now you've actually got a Bird of Paradise who might want to participate. But let's use the Bird of Paradise's ability. What this does is it randomly increases 1 pool. So you actually did that. You got an additional spool in the white. So at this point, and again, like I said, this is pre-alpha. We're still determining whether or not that's how that's going to fly. So you also got that ability up.
We should use that.
Yep. So you see how much effect that has. Like you just did 70 for
2 mana. Right.
So now you're into the Lancer, and even without a critical, he can take that bird down.
Go get it. Somehow. All right.
So now really all he's got is one lonely little elvish archer.
Poor guy.
And it's your turn.
All right.
Now this could just go smush right here. So there you go. Now everybody's going to do a little victory shuffle at this point. We'll wait for the exit button.